If you walk into a marine dealership today, you are walking into a financial drowning. The average new outboard motor is pushing $15,000 to $30,000. A Yamaha F250 lists at $33,000 before rigging, controls, or installation. Dealers are locking buyers into marine financing with rates that make your truck loan look reasonable. But the price tag is not the worst part. The worst part is what you are actually getting for your money. When you buy a modern outboard, you are not buying a mechanical asset. You are buying a rapidly depreciating computer bolted to a propeller, a software license you do not own that requires dealer permission to diagnose, and that is mathematically designed to financially destroy you the second the warranty expires. But a quiet rebellion is building in boatyards and garages across the country. Mechanics, commercial fishermen, and smart boaters are completely opting out of the modern marine market. They are using a strategy called the pre-computer loophole, and today I am going to show you exactly how it works. To understand the loophole, you first have to understand the trap. Look at the power head of any outboard built after 2010. The carburetor is gone. The manual choke is gone. The timing adjustment you could set with a screwdriver and a timing light is gone. In their place is a sealed electronic control unit potted in epoxy resin connected to a digital throttle that requires proprietary software to calibrate. Manufacturers will tell you this is a performance upgrade. That is a lie. A sealed computer module that only dealers can access is dramatically more profitable than a carburetor any mechanic can rebuild. This is corporate lock-in disguised as innovation. And it is a ticking time bomb for your wallet. On a 20-year-old outboard, if your carburetor gets gunked up with ethanol residue, you pull it off, soak it in cleaner, drop in a $15 rebuild kit, and bolt it back on. Your local mechanic can do it. You can do it in your driveway with a service manual. In a modern outboard, the fuel system is controlled by the ECU. When that unit throws a fault code from a voltage spike or a corroded sensor, the engine goes into limp mode 3 miles offshore. You cannot clear the code yourself. You cannot diagnose it yourself. You trailer the boat to the dealer, pay $120 to $150 an hour for a technician to plug in a proprietary laptop, and pray the fix is software. If it is hardware, you are looking at $2,000 for the ECU alone. Your outboard has been mechanically totaled by a software glitch. But the diagnostic lockout is just the bait. The real engineering trap is what happened to outboard technology starting in the mid-1990s. In the mid-1990s, everything changed. Mercury introduced direct fuel injection, OMC introduced the FICT, Yamaha introduced the OX66. Electronic engine management arrived in the marine industry. The EPA was tightening emission standards, and manufacturers raced to meet them with computer-controlled systems. Some of these early systems were legendary. Some were disasters. The Evinrude FICT 150 and 175 horsepower motors from 1998 and 1999 were so problematic they helped bankrupt Outboard Marine Corporation. One marine shop reported that of 40 FICT 225 engines that came through for service, 26 had ECU failures. The 1999 Yamaha HPDI was called a disaster by mechanics who lived through it. Mercury Optimax motors from 1998 to 2001 had injector and ECM problems that required factory recalls to fix. If you find one that never got the updates, you are buying a time bomb. But here is what the dealers will not tell you. There is a window of outboard manufacturing where the technology was proven, the engineering was simple, and the electronics had not yet become a hostage system. Mechanics call it the golden era, from roughly 1990 to 2005. And within that window, certain engines emerged as legends. The Yamaha OX66. This engine was Yamaha's first fuel-injected two-stroke, introduced in 1996. It came in 150, 200, 225, and 250 horsepower, and it is one of the most reliable large outboards ever built. Commercial fishermen in the Bahamas are running OX66 engines with over 3,000 hours on them. Saltwater charter captains routinely report 2,500 hours with nothing more than basic maintenance. Forum after forum, mechanic after mechanic, the verdict is the same: bulletproof. Best motor Yamaha ever made. One captain said if he had to choose one two-stroke motor to push him home from 100 miles offshore, it would be an OX66. You can buy a running Yamaha OX66 250 with 600 hours for around $3,500. A new Yamaha F250 costs $33,000. The math is not complicated. The OMC 90-degree V4. Before Ficht destroyed Evinrude's reputation, Johnson and Evinrude built carbureted two-strokes that commercial operators ran for decades. The 90-degree V4 design has been around since the 1960s in various forms. These engines run forever. The three-cylinder, 60 and 70 horsepower motors are called almost bulletproof by the mechanics who rebuild them. They use carburetors you can service yourself. They use ignition systems you can diagnose with a timing light. Every part is available at every marine supply store in the country. A running 1992 Johnson 200 horsepower sells for around $2,500. The Mercury Optimax after 2001, the early Optimax motors had problems, but after the recalls and updates were applied, these became serious workhorses. Crabbers on the Chesapeake report 2,500 hours and counting. Mechanics who hated the early ones admit the post-2001 models are solid. If you are looking at a used Optimax, ask one question. Were the recall updates performed? If the injectors and ECM were replaced under the service bulletins, you are probably looking at a reliable engine. If not, walk away. So how do you execute the loophole? You do not finance, you save $3,000 to $8,000 in cash. You avoid the shiny dealerships with the C-trial gimmicks and the extended warranty upsells. You buy directly from private sellers. You look for the physical indicators of a forever outboard. A carburetor or early fuel injection system with serviceable components. A traditional throttle cable that pulls a mechanical linkage, not a fly-by-wire system. A cowling you can remove with 4 bolts and see the actual engine underneath, not a sealed plastic shell with tamper-proof fasteners. An ignition system that does not require a dealer laptop to diagnose. When you inspect, you compression test every cylinder. You check the lower unit oil for water contamination. You look at the water pump telltale. You ask for service records, but you trust the physical evidence more than the seller's memory. Here is what you avoid. Any Evinrude or Johnson Ficht from 1998 or 1999 in the 150 or 175 horsepower range. Any Yamaha HPDI from 1999 to 2001. Any Mercury Optimax from 1998 to 2001 that has not had the recall work performed. Any Suzuki two-stroke from the 1980s or 90s if you operate in saltwater. They had serious corrosion problems. And here is the secret the industry does not want you to understand. A well-maintained outboard from the golden era can run 3,000, 5,000, even 10,000 hours. A Yamaha representative told a boating club that with proper maintenance, their outboards should last 9,000 to 12,000 hours before serious concerns surface. Commercial operators in Alaska put 10,000 hours on Yamaha 4-strokes. The old Ox 66 2-strokes are still running in charter fleets across the Caribbean. Meanwhile, modern outboards are engineered with sealed ECUs, proprietary diagnostics, and software that only the dealer can access. When something fails at year 6 or year 8, the repair costs more than the engine is worth. You are not saving money when you buy old. You are buying the last generation of outboards that you can actually own. When you buy a 20-year-old analog outboard, you are severing the dependency pipeline that lets manufacturers control your repairs, lock out independent mechanics, and hold your boat hostage to dealer schedules and software permissions. You own the engine, not a license, not a subscription, the machine. If you are learning something from this, hit subscribe. I cover the engineering traps and financial scams hiding inside the marine industry every single week. Now, the outboard cartel is not the only system draining your wallet on the water. The exact same planned obsolescence playbook is being run right now inside your boat's electronics.